Hey guys, build is done. I'm going to show you guys my cat build. You want lots of cat speed, aka cat speed. But the main problem with Arcanist brand Soulrend has always been the mana burn, at least in recent times. What I'm showcasing first, of course, right here, is the Uber Elder. I think every build needs to be able to do Uber Elder, even if it's designed for mob clear. This is a better build for mob clear than for single target than for bossing. I would not try this on like Uber Searing at Shark, Uber Eater of Worlds. It's not designed for that. It's designed for mob clear, delirious maps. It's great. We're going to get into all that. I just wanted to show first, of course, that it can do Uber Elder. Where's the fucking Watcher's Eye, right? Where's the fucking Watcher's Eye? Here's Maze of the Minotaur, tier 16, random alked. Just a regular one. And so we're going to start on this, just kind of showcase the setup. What we do, of course, with all brand builds, like Stormbrand, for example, this was inspired by my Stormbrand build, in many ways. Converted from my Wintertide brand build. You just kind of throw brands around, and you use the movement skill, and then you use my W, which is for brand recall. That's the playstyle. You pull your brands forward, and then they start activating. Of course, we're CI, so we're Chaos Immune, which is very nice for that the person that throws petals on the ground in the Viridian Wildwood. Now you'll get mana burn very quickly if you don't mitigate it through different means. My old school setup for Arcanist brand Soulrend was of course a DOT build, because Soulrend is typically a DOT build. But we're using a special Soulrend, we're using an alternate quality one. Soulrend of Reaping, much higher damage on hit, which means of course much more leech. So we have Energy Shield on hit, Energy Shield recharge, Energy Shield regeneration rate is high, recharge rate is high, Energy Shield on hit from Watcher's Eye. Look at all the cats. Lots of cats all over the place. Now, shamefully, we don't use Aspect of the Cat. We used to on this build, but I replaced it with Summon Skitterbots for a specific reason, which I will go into at the end. But needless to say, we're just going through the Maze of the Minotaur. Nice long showcase showing how the build feels. Mostly we're throwing the brands, we're doing the brand recall, and then with our middle click, we are utilizing Wither. We're using totems to cast Wither very quickly. Wither increases chaos damage taken, which is nice because mostly we're throwing the cats, but of course we have a left click too for even more chaos damage. Here's a Harbinger. For mobs, this build is a hell of a lot of fun. Use greater multiple projectiles. I, for a long time, wanted to use a charm for extra projectiles, but just a charm with extra projectile times 1 is like 110 to 150 divine. And it's just not worth it. So we don't do that. We also no longer use Awakened Fork support, which I did use for a while. It was nice, but it's a very expensive setup. I wanted to get rid of it. I brought back on greater multiple projectiles. Here's Minotaur. Let him burrow, and then just wheeled on him, and then did a lot of left clicks. And regular bosses like this, not a problem. Any tier 16, really not a problem. That was Maven Witnessed, just to get our formed up. Alright, now we're going to try something much, much harder. Significantly harder. Look at the mods on the right very carefully. We have an 80% delirious map. And this build can very well do 80% delirious. Can probably do 100% delirious. Can do 80% delirious with the occasional death if you aren't really paying attention. If you're playing casually, you'll die sometimes. But very tanky build, 8,000 energy shield, as you can see. And we actually have a surprising amount of armor. We could cut our armor for haste, for more movement speed and cast speed, but it's just not worth it. What I did here was I have all the mods on the side, I have 80% delirious, and I just started stacking up my Searing at Shark altars just to really push the limit of the build. So let's try this ritual. What is the left click? It's of course Hexblast of Havoc. Hexblast of Havoc gives lots of nice damage on, on click. basically. And if the enemy is hexed, it does this little area of effect on top of the main damage. Very much like regular Hexblast, but has some advantages over plain Hexblast. It does not pull off the curse. The curse stays on the enemy. It does not remove the curse. And unlike plain Hexblast, we don't have to worry about scaling anything. So it just does an automatic damage guaranteed without having to worry about scaling. Because it's an ancillary skill. I added it later, basing it on my Stormbrand setup, where we had Lightning Conduit on our left click, or middle click. In that case it was middle click. I'm using totems on the middle click though. But yeah, look at this. It's great for mob clear. It's a lot of fun. Even delirious map. And your playstyle is basically you're right-clicking the brands, and you're looking in the upper left corner where you have 5 brands active, and if you get less than 5, you activate a new brand. You don't have to worry about like Wintertide brand where you get stages. Each one just hits as it hits. Now, on something like this, I had all these Eldritch Altars and mods, and you know, you can die like on a map like this. You shouldn't run a map like this if you're on hardcore, but I actually would say this build could do hardcore if you're running like regular tier 16. It's very tanky, very defensive, lots of energy shield, lots of armor. Does not have spell suppression. Does not have evasion rating. This is a real challenge right here. So yeah, I wanted to beat the Kosis, so I wanted to take him out. Hi Kosis. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. You got them cakes. If y'all haven't seen the model of Kosis, that boy has some cakes. I mean, he's like second or third best ass in Path of Exile. No homo. Now, I just went ahead and clicked this like an idiot, and really scaled it up. And it kind of came back to haunt me because of the fire res situation. I think it was that one. It's one of these. You know, I'm not recording in real time, I'm recording after the fact, but I was really scaling up the altars on this delirious map just to show that this build is fun as hell on mob clear. Actually, I'm thinking about actually making a strategy formally for like scaling farming, which I don't do that much. I mostly craft for profit or gamble for profit. And I'm like, you know what? Let me do a delirious setup. Let me figure out a way to really make profits on map drops. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit. Something I don't do a lot in POE. Just farm, develop farming strategies, get the scarabs and the sextants going, and the eldritch altars going. Let's do it. There it is. That's the one. That's the one. I'm on Caldera, where I'm about to go fight Kaom, and I just got minus 50 to fire res, with everything else happening. It's not a problem until the boss fight, and you'll see why. Like, the boss fight would have been fine, but there's fire all over the place. It was a situation where I'm gonna die once. But I wanted to just kind of show that this is a good casual fun build, and you can do most content. Regarding farming content, regarding... I think you could actually make this into a Magic Find build. I really do. If you get some rarity and point going. Would be a good one. Because I fixed the mana burn problem. Like, my mana's dipping all over the place, but with mana on kill, I have lots of sources of mana on kill. And I've got so much tankiness. With the... I love it. Adding the Hexblast like that, because we always have Despair on the enemies, because we don't have to worry about casting. We don't self-cast our curse, and we don't worry about our ring where it's only a level 1. It's not a level 1 ring, giving us like Despair on hit, or gloves. You can get that as a Val implicit as well on your gloves, but then you're only doing a level 1 Despair. If you self-cast, of course, that's ideal. You can get a level 21-20. Otherwise, if it's on your ring or gloves, it's a level 1. If it's on Blasphemy, you have a nerf. You have a this was added later, 35% reduced curse effect, and if it's Hex Touch support, same thing, 35% reduced effect of curse. If you want to maintain max effect of curse, you either self-cast or you do what I do on this build. We use a ring, which our little skitterbot runs around and puts the curse on people, basically. And so it works really well with Hexblast, and it doesn't mitigate the effect of the curse. You only need one curse, no marks. See? Look at this. 80% delirious map, guys. It's good. And it's faster than some, you know, I've had some brand builds that are slower. They walk around slower because you don't really scale movement speed. You don't have a way to do that on your quiver. Alright, so here's what I was talking about. We're gonna clear this just fine. But we're taking a little more damage than normal because of that Eldritch Altar of all things. So with patience, I would have just let the brands do their work and dodge, right? But I decided to get in there and start left clicking. Yep, and there it goes. Shameful death. Very fair death. You know, run back in, no problem. Okay, so here's the last thing we have to try, the hidden. That's rare, not just a plain hidden, you know. Hidden's one of the hardest fights in the game. You have to deal with this Esh thing. I was in a situation here where I did not kill Esh quick enough, and so Esh does the shockwave and the lightning balls, and then Toll does her, you know, ice storm. Zoph and Yonatol, no big deal, really, as long as you watch out for them. But I just wanted to show here, of course, that we can do the hidden with effort because of our massive life pool. The build is not designed for single target bossing, needless to say, but it can still do it. I would not do Uber Eater Worlds, Uber Searing Head Shark, Uber Maven, but I would do any of those that are non-Uber, including, of course, Uber Elder. Not a problem. Okay, let's look into the details, right? 5 auras. We have 5 auras on CI. We're running Zealotry. Zealotry is the only thing we do to buff our damage, spell damage. Summon Skitterbots so that we can throw our despair everywhere. Discipline, of course, because we're CI, we want energy shield. Determination for armor, clarity for lots of mana regen. Now our flasks, we're going to use a granite flask with corrupted blood immunity, a damage flask with ignited immunity of some kind, a dying sun for extra projectiles, a really good onslaught flask with cast speed, with charges when we're hit, because we can never crit. Or we do crit very rarely, but it's rare. We're not really a crit build. Quicksilver flask, movement speed, recharging when we're hit. Because we're hit a lot, we're not evasion based. Here's the treat. We want to grab lots of mana nodes, more than you'd expect, so that we don't have mana burn, because our cats will run out. We need to throw cats non-stop, like a crazy person. Energy shield from our helm, brand-based builds, or excuse me, brand-based nodes. Physical as chaos, it's free real estate. We can't take chaos damage. Lots of aura effect and reservation effect. Dark ideation, touch of cruelty, unholy grace. Part of how we scale our chaos damage is through the clusters. We want reduced mana cost of skills, chaos damage, increased mana, you know, increased energy shield would be nice. You don't need the crit. Watcher's Eye, Discipline, Discipline, faster start, and then very important, energy shield on hit. That's the only chaos nodes we take is there. Wicked Ward, we don't normally take Wicked Ward, but I like it because we don't die to bleed or ignite that way. Wicked Pale. Unwaveringly Evil, not necessary because we're stun immune. We want a Discipline small node and a Zealotry small node to help their mana reservation. CI is right here, of course. Influence. We're doing Vile Bastion for more life sustain. We're going the Chaos path, even though the Chaos res doesn't matter. It gives us a little bit more withers. Profane Bloom, so we explode enemies with chaos damage based on their health, very important. We actually don't take the extra curse. Now, we're going this here, we're using Charms, Life Energy Shield, Mana on kill, and then that's our source of Frenzy charges. Here, Mana as extra energy shield, very nice with CI. Mana reservation efficiency, just a little boost. Here's how we get hexproof without taking the other ascendancy. And then we take Dreamer as our anoint because of the mana cost reduction. It's very important. Replica Dragon Fangs gives us +3 to our Soulrend. That's the main thing there. Profane Proxy, this is how our Skitterbot constantly puts full despair without any nerf, without having to self-cast. That's the point of that. Profane Proxy, a little bit of upgrade. You know, high level despair. Just get full effect, don't have to worry about it. Don't have to self-cast. Crown of the Inward Eye, very nice, of course. Always nice for CI builds. 21%, of course. I crafted this shield myself. This is what we have. You can see it's really nice. Lots of defense. Double res, +1 to chaos spells. These shoes I keep meaning to replace, and I just can't replace them. They're too good. I just can't do it. I've had these since I was Wintertide brand. I just keep meaning to replace them, and they're just too good. Even though they're not 30 or 35% movement speed. This is a fantastic body armor. I half crafted this. I bought it partially made, but I did put on the 8% increase effect. It could be a 30% for even more energy shield. I actually should beast craft that and corrupt it. At this point, I know I'm done with the build. I should just do that. Get more energy shield. Why not? But it's great. Faster start of energy shield recharge, which is hard to get. Really keeps us alive. Alright, these gloves are great. I made these myself as well. Lots of res, but mostly just like lots of ES. And then there's a source of dex, like our shoes are a source of strength. And then you want that really nice, exquisite projectiles pierce, because we no longer fork or chain. We just pierce with GMP. So we're just piercing them all the time. It's very important. This is the only source of pierce without pierce support. I put max cold res just for fun. This belt is unreplaceable. I think I could do Mage Blood. Well, kind of, but look at this. Look at all that energy shield it gives us from this. See, increase effect. It's a Shaper mod. This is a double influence. I made the wand myself. You just can't find this on the server. If you want to follow this build, you're going to have to make this yourself too. Good luck. It's a pain in the fucking assholes because you have to have this fracture, and then all you're rolling for is cast speed on the suffix, but then you have to use essences to hit the spell damage on the prefix and roll for chaos spell, and then try to like add on the spell as a second one, or a double +1 in a perfect world, I suppose. I made the ring myself because I wanted cast speed, I wanted energy shield, and then I want lots of mana reservation. I even put mana reservation on the weapon like a crazy person because I just needed to not have mana burn. Hexblast of Havoc, it's fun. It's better than playing Hexblast as an ancillary skill, I think. You don't pull off the hexes. Soulrend of Reaping, this is what it looks like as far as the raw damage points. You get a big fat debuff with Arcanist brand. They say go woke and go broke, but not with this build. We use lots of Awaken gems. Arcanist brand has a big nerf, so we need Awaken Control Destruction, Awaken Void Manipulation, GMP. You could use Awaken GMP if you want to. It's even better. And Soulrend of Reaping. See, look at this, level 28 from all the like shield and weapon and the amulet. Hexblast of Havoc. It's upgraded too. It's only a 4 link though. I thought about putting it in gloves with like Socket skill supported by blank, but it's fine. Awakened Spell Echo is the key here, because look, double damage from here, double damage from Awakened Spell Echo, 30%. We don't actually use haste. I would love to. You could theoretically with an Aeol's Uprising with haste, but I just use it for the Val haste. And then of course we have our Brand Recall, summon Lightning Golem, just for more cast speed. Here, Clarity, high level, mana sustain. Enlighten level 3, because level 4s are really overpriced this league. Skitterbots that go there. You know, related to that. And then Frostblink. I tried using the new Frostblink, the alternate quality one. The transfigured Frostblink. I didn't like it. It felt like Flame Dash. I don't like the delay. I don't like that little bit of cast speed. I want an instant movement skill so I can instantly move when I need to. Only shame is Divergent Frostblink was so much better when you're fighting uniques and bosses. It does not exist anymore. Here's where we put our totems in our helmet with Wither stacks with really nice level 21 faster casting, so it just throws them on there constantly with 2 different totems. Just stack Wither, especially on single target. It helps our Hexblast of Havoc and the Soulrend, of course. And there you have it, a really niche build, a build that came out of my brain, ladies and gentlemen. Lastly, of course, the Pantheon. The Pantheon, freeze immunity goes there, bleed mitigation goes there. Too lazy to finish them.